Sometimes you hear a story that sounds just totally amazing, and it's so amazing you think to yourself, that story can't be true. Well, I've got a story for you like that today. It's a story about a family who had a dog, and they loved their dog. But one day their dog unfortunately was in a terrible accident, and he was hit by a car and he was all crumpled up, and they picked him up and they took him down to the vet, and they said, "Vet, you've got to help us, we need you to save our dog." So the vet took a look at the dog and said, "I'm really sorry, the best thing I can do for your dog is just to put it to sleep, because I'm not going to be able to fix this dog, there's too much wrong." And the vet kept looking at the dog and he said, he's got broken bones. It's true, the broken bones might heal, but inside there's going to be a lot of things wrong with his organs, and I'm not going to be able to fix that. There's virtually no chance that the operation would work, so I don't think it's worth doing the operation. But the family came back at him and they said, "You say there's almost no chance, that means there must be a wee chance, so we want you to do it." And the vet said, "Well, you don't understand, your insurance won't cover you for this operation. If I was to do the operation, you'd have the bill to pay for that operation yourselves. You'd have to pay for it yourselves, and it would cost a lot of money." So the family thought, but they were absolutely determined, they wanted to save their dog. And so they said, "We'll get the money and we'll pay you to do this operation." Now, they didn't have a lot of money, but the father made a decision that they would sell their car. They had an estate car which took them and the dog everywhere they wanted to go. So the father sold the car, got the money, and brought the money to the vet so the vet could do the operation. And believe it or not, the operation was a success. The vet was able to fix all the things that was wrong with that dog. The dog pulled through and the dog was okay. It was a great story. So the family were delighted to have their dog back, and obviously a bit sad because they didn't have their car anymore. Not long after that, the vet decided to move to another town and open up a new practice in another place. And he was decorating the place with pictures of animals that he'd helped over the years. And he happened to put up a picture of that particular dog. And one day a woman came into the surgery and saw the dog, and she said, "That's a beautiful looking dog. Do you know there's a competition for these kind of dogs just now? I think that dog would stand a good chance of winning." And so, a long story short, the dog we've been hearing about was sent, his picture, it was sent in for this competition, and the dog won the competition. And the family heard about this, and then one day they got a letter in the post explaining the dog had officially won the competition and the family had won the star prize. And the first prize, the star prize, was a Volkswagen estate car. So how about that? They'd given up their car to save their dog, and it ended up they saved their dog and they also got an estate car back, and a brand new one at that. Wasn't that brilliant? What a great story. And it's one of these stories you think, well, that can't really be true. But there's some people in my family who know that vet and who know that story, and they will tell you it's definitely a true story. Now we're here on Easter Day, and we remember the most amazing story on Easter Day, the story of Jesus and the story of Easter. And we remember that a couple of days before, the enemies of Jesus had managed to get their way, and they thought they'd got rid of Jesus because they'd put him to death. Jesus was killed, crucified on a cross. But on Easter Day, everything changed, because God had raised Jesus back to life. And of course, when that story came out, nobody believed that. Not even the friends of Jesus believed that when they heard it, because that was just too good to be true. How could that have happened? Nobody believed it. And yet, bit by bit, people started to believe the story. People started to believe it was true because they met Jesus and they found out it was true for themselves. It was the most amazing story of all. Now, Easter isn't just one of these amazing stories you sometimes hear. It's not just about something incredible that happened a long time ago. The dog story is pretty amazing, but the people who are affected by the dog story mostly were the people in that family, the people who owned the dog. I mean, it's a great story, but it was especially great for them. And we might think Easter's a bit of the same. The Easter story must have been a great story for the disciples, the friends of Jesus, all those years ago, at the time when it happened. It must have been a great story for them, but maybe not so great or important for us. But you know, Easter isn't just an amazing story. It's a story with a real meaning. And although the story might be about something that happened such a long time ago, it remains true for every one of us today. So, what is the meaning of Easter? Easter was God's way of telling the whole world about God and about ourselves and about the world and about life. God didn't raise Jesus to life just to be some kind of trick. God didn't do it so people would say, oh, that's amazing. God did it because he wanted to show to the world some very important facts. And here are just two. When God raised Jesus, God was honouring Jesus and also showing us that death is not the end. God was showing us that life is stronger than death and love is stronger than hate. God was showing us that the way of Jesus will not be defeated and that love will win in the end. God was showing us that we will always be safe with God and nothing, not even death, can cut us off from God. It's not the end. That's good news for us, and it's good news for those we love in a time of viruses and uncertainty. And another thing, Easter means that what Jesus said and did was right. All his teachings about how we should live and how we should treat one another, all of his hard work to start to build a better world, a fairer world, all of that was important to God. A few days before he died, it seemed as if everybody was saying no to Jesus. The religious leaders were saying no, and the wealthy people, and the Romans, and most of the crowd in Jerusalem. And in fact, even his closest followers gave up on Jesus at the end, or so it seemed. But on Easter Day, God said something else. God said yes to Jesus. Other people might have said no, but God said yes. And God says to everybody, pay attention to him. He's the one who matters most. Jesus is the one who will show us best what God is like. At Easter, God didn't point to a book or a set of books. God raised a person and pointed to him. If you want to know God, if you want to know what God is like, then stick close to Jesus. On Easter Day, God said yes to Jesus. Let's pray. God, thank you for Easter. Thank you for Jesus. Thank you for all he has done and all that he is doing in our world. Thank you that he leads us to you. Amen.